Hello, everybody in the land. Got a little late for the Boston Tampa Bay game, but we're here. Sure, you guys will be by any minute. How's it going? I'm going to send this live out land here now. Hey, how's it going? Jacob, the Steelers fan. Yes, you are first, my friend. Watching the Tampa-Boston game. I imagine you're rooting for Tampa in this one. I don't know why. Pittsburgh and Boston. Pittsburgh fans are usually not Boston fans, Patriots fans, or anybody of like that nature. I'm sending this over to my Patreons now, and hopefully they'll come join the Frolic. Well, sorry. There we go. Got it up. So who are you looking for, buddy? Who are you rooting for today? Wow, Tampa Bay just scored, almost scored. Try to plug this in. Tampa scores. Goes good for my Tampa ML here. Oh, what a beautiful play. Between the stick, top hand corner. Palat. Pot's another one. Must have left right away. Came and left. Hey, who's there? Sorry. Tampa's up 1-0 already. I got Tampa on the ML. Yep, but and I also picked Tampa to win the series and the cup. And I think it's likely that that's going to happen. Pretty stacked team, man. Sending it around, trying to get as many people on live as I can. Where is everybody today, Jacob? Well, you're a buddy. You're somebody. I mean, all the people that usually come in here. Sometimes it takes a while. So, what are you up to, Jacob? You watching the game, or what are you doing? Watching some ball. Hey, there's a couple people coming into the land right there. Welcome. Watching Boston, Tampa Bay. What are you guys doing? Tampa's taking it to them pretty darn good so far, that's for sure. Now Boston's going to get a power play penalty. Tampa is definitely owning the zone and the game so far, for sure. Tampa's going to win this like this for sure. I don't know. I had a feeling I should have maybe even bet more money on Tampa to win this game because I really thought they were going to win it for sure. These playoffs have kind of got my confidence down a little bit because there's been a lot of forcers that haven't come in. Let's go, Kevin. How you doing, buddy? Tampa Bay. You got Tampa? I got Tampa all day on this one, Kevin. All freaking day. Tampa Bay, yeah. I think Tampa Bay will win the rest of them in this series. Maybe Boston comes back and wins one, but they're just so stacked. After all this emotional stuff that happened, I think I don't know. It's like Tampa's total makeup of their team. They're just way deeper forward. I've been saying that about Boston for a while, though. They keep on winning just based on that top line and Krejci, I guess. But their overall depth isn't really not been that good for a while. But they've been able to make it by. But against this Tampa team, with this kind of depth and great coaching, Cooper is a great coach. Unfortunately, he took a hit quite a bit when they lost to Columbus that 1 year. But I mean, Columbus has shown over and over again that they're nothing to sneeze at. You can't take. I mean, it's a great system. They can beat anybody. So they licked their wounds and came back and looked like a team that can win the cup this year, I would say. I know you disagree with that, Kevin. You believe the Islanders are going to win the cup. And kudos to you for following your team like that, but it's not a logical thing. Hey, Yoshis, how you doing? You watching the Tampa game? Yoshis is one of the finest in the land, you know. She comes in every time I turn my live on. Yoshis is there in a heartbeat. She wants me to do basketball lives, and I don't even know how. I could, I suppose, but I mean, I'm not going to be able to say much about basketball. I'd just be watching. I'll watch my Raptors maybe one day live for you, Yoshis. I do root for the Raptors. Wonder if I had some Tampa Bay fans. I put them on. I posted this live on for Tampa Bay fans to come in. I wonder if they'll pop in. We haven't had any Tampa Bay fans here before. And I imagine three whatever. What's his name? Three something. Uh, Boston fan. He should be coming in here. Maybe he's too busy watching the game himself. Well, Boston does not look good. Their legs aren't moving well at all. Know what, Yoshis? Oh, what time is the Islanders game? Oh, that's a good question. Sorry, I don't know why. Haven't been feeling 100%. Time is 5 p.m. my Mountain Time. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock Mountain Time. So I don't know what that is in your time. New York time, yeah, it's 2. That would be like 7 o'clock your time. You're 2 hours ahead of me. Like right now, this is 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, now it's not 10 o'clock in the morning. Now it's like 10 to 11, but this game started, or the pregame show started at 10 a.m. Wow, Boston just looks completely out of sorts. Yes, I do get stressed watching the Flyers. Yeah, especially when I'm betting for them to win. Then it's double stress. I'll be right back. I made my coffee too strong. I gotta get some cream. There you go. Put some more cream in there. It's a little better. Man, I made that strong. Shit. Yeah, I get stressed watching the Flyers. I got a bet on them today. They got them as the underdogs today. 195 to 184. They had Tampa even money with Boston today. That was friggin' amazing. I suppose because they're they were first in the regular season before, yeah, I guess before the pandemic and all that. So what are you guys doing today besides watching hockey? Are you watching the game, Yoshis, or is your family watching TV and you can't watch it? Or do you figure out how to do it on your computer now, right? Oh, that was not a hitting from behind. Wow, that was close. Tampa got away with one there, I think. Tampa got away with one there, I think. Wow. Oh, that was not bad. It looked like a hit from behind, but it wasn't. Tampa said, now Richie's going to get a penalty. Tampa's going to score again, and we're going to be sitting pretty. It's weird when I post these on my channel. It doesn't show the live chat, which makes it look kind of silly. I'm sitting there talking to you guys, and like they can't even see what you guys have put up on the live chat. But if I look at other ones that do it, if I replay it, it shows their live chat. So I must be doing something wrong. I get stressed watching. With no betting involved, I get stressed watching Philadelphia, especially when they're playing like their stupid, slow game through the neutral zone crap that they like to fall into. Oh, so frustrating, especially against the Islanders. Like, Islanders will rip you apart if you're slow through the neutral zone. So, last game was the first game I saw them play like their game. And then third period, they got back on their heels again, and sure as shit, the Islanders come and smoke them. But they ended up winning the game. I got Philly to win today, but I'm not very sure about it. Like, if you can't, I don't really like betting against Trotz led teams because they can win they can win so many ways. But I bet for the Islanders all series, like all playoffs so far up until they played Philly. I was Islanders, winning shitloads. Tampa Bay power play, they are putting a lot. I am Boston's not looking good, man. Oh, yeah. So we are. Everybody is. Kevin's got Tampa. I've got Tampa. I got Tampa in this game. Why? Why do you want? I can't remember what's your team, Lauren? What's your team, Lauren? Can't remember. Oh, you're a Canes fan. I like the Canes. Canes is probably my second favorite team. Is my second favorite team in the East. I love the Surge. I wish more teams would do shit like that. And I love Brindamore. I just like what they've done with that team. I like the new owner. I like all of that. I like the fact that they're a small market team. Yeah, I like Canes. I like the Canes. And it's it'll be fun to see that Seattle Kraken team, although I'm not a big fan of the name myself. It's too many crack references going to happen there. But it's original, so it's better than, I guess, the Penguins or Ducks or some other lame Gophers or some fucking thing. It's way better than another lame animal that can't do fuck all. Ducks. Like, yeah, it's just like crack references. I kind of like the. I kind of like the. Oh, what was the other one there? Sockeyes. I kind of like the Sockeyes. That was a good name, but it's just all the crack references and stuff. But whatever, it's a name. It doesn't matter. Why did you hate the Sockeyes name? What was wrong with that? I like it. It's a good double reference. Sockeyes and celebrates the fish and their fisheries and stuff like that. I didn't really like any of the other ones. The Emeralds. The hell? No, not the Emeralds. That was bad. Uh, Sockeyes? Really? First of all, why would somebody do that? And second of all, how? How could it be used as a homophobic slur? I'm pretty up in lingos. I've never heard anything like that before. Oh, suck guys. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. See, I never would have thought about that, and I don't see it's that matters. Anybody that's going to use that term probably doesn't really matter all that much, anyways. But I had to take a while to get it. Yeah. I think we should be pretty much well over that by now. It's 2020, for the love of God. But whatever. The Devils, Yeah, it's a pretty good name. I don't mind it because it's named after the it's named after the animal, right? What were the I like that name. I like their jersey. I like everything about New Jersey, except for the fact that they were like the most boring team to watch for a long time. But I do like the name. That was a pretty cool name. I like the Seattle colors. Seattle colors are freaking awesome. I do like that a lot. I might buy a Seattle jersey just for that. The trap, yeah. Well, that whole time, like when you could get away with basically just tackling people and shit, that all happened because the Gary Bettman was advising the owners not to expand, and they wouldn't do it. They wanted the money and they wanted the expansion, and they didn't have enough player depth to fill those rosters. And the only way those teams were going to be relevant and make it is if they could be competitive. So Gary basically told the refs, you know, slow down, slow down the game, let a lot of holding, get away with holding and stuff like that, because otherwise we wouldn't have the Anaheim Ducks right now. We wouldn't have the San Jose Sharks because they wouldn't have won hardly a game. If they played the game like they do now, they never would have won. And then the New Jersey Devils, all they really did is take as much advantage as possible of the fact that that was allowed, and had like just a ridiculous defense because of it, which was boring as hell to watch. Horrible, horrible to watch. So can't really blame them for what they did, but still sucked. It was a terrible game to watch. And then they had Stevens, who was probably the dirtiest player ever to play the game. And you tell a New Jersey Devil fan that, most of them will scream and yell and blah, blah, blah. But he was. He was dirty as hell. Yeah, he caught people. Okay, keep your head up. But even if people are going up through the middle, you don't aim for their heads to knock them out of the freaking park. Like, you don't try to kill them. And Stevens tried to kill people. I'm not a huge NFL fan, honestly. I want to become more of a fan, though. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this live. So you're free to talk about NFL or any sports on here. I'm thinking about changing my channel to my sports pearls of wisdom. However, I don't have much pearls of wisdom in other sports. I know NHL inside and out. I played it from the time I was a kid. My dad coached. I loved it. I studied the game. I see the game from angles a lot of people don't see, and stuff like that. It's just my sport. But other sports I'm trying to get into more. One way I can do that is everybody get all your friends in the land to come watch, subscribe, so I can start making some cash, and then I can do this for a living, and then I'll get into every sport, dude. We'll be watching sports all day long, just like this. Boom, boom, boom. It's gonna be freaking crazy. And I'm gonna come to your land, and we're gonna do videos together. I'm gonna take you to your favorite sport game and all that stuff like that. I'll take you to your favorite. I'll take you to football, baseball, whatever the hell you want. I'm not kidding when I say that. That's exactly what I want to do, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Three deep. I knew you were coming. I knew three deep. We were already talking about you three. TD. We were already talking about you, TD. What's going on with your Bruins today, buddy? Doesn't look like it's working out too well so far. Just happened to have a bet on Tampa too while we're at it. I made that special bet for you just for consistently reminding me how hard it's been to be a Philadelphia Flyers fan. So. He took out a lot of players, and like I said, they can say, "Well, it was legal and blah blah blah," but every player knows what Stevens did was wrong. You don't have to have a law to know that you don't elbow people in the head at top speed. Like, you don't have to have a law for that. There's no need to have a law for that. That is just human decency that you don't try to kill people. So I say Stevens was the dirtiest player of all time. Yeah. Flyers, well, they they looked strong the last game, but they really hadn't played their best game yet. Against Montreal, I said before the series with the Islanders is if Philly played like they did against Montreal against the Islanders, they ain't winning shit. The Islanders will kill them. And their last game they played like Philly. And then they went back on their heels a bit again, but I can live with that a little bit. Uh, rather see, as long as you see them playing that strong neutral zone game that they can play. If they do that against the Islanders, they will win for sure. So, but Carter Hart, man, and then it looks like if we do beat the Islanders, we got to play Tampa, and let's just say I won't put any money on my Phillies for that one. I don't think we're ready to beat Tampa yet. I'll be rooting for them, but my head doesn't say that they're going to win that series. I think Tampa goes all the way this year. Philly in the offseason, they got to get a third line center, and hopefully Lindblom can come back. But if not, a scorer like Hoffman in Florida or something like that. They got to get a high percentage shooter in that lineup that can win when they're not playing the best, I would say. Defense is fine. Goaltending's, well, unbelievable. Fantastic for a long time. So it's just that, really, that I think they need. More speed is always good in this NHL. It's not the greatest, but they can move. They can move some pieces. I'll take another look at it again. I think they're kind of capped out. But if there's people leaving, like Braun is probably not going to be brought back. Braun won't be coming back. What's the woo for 3D TD? If they could get rid of Van Riemsdyk's freaking cap, $7 million for the next 4 years, that is ugly. If they could, I would almost give up my first round pick this year to Ottawa to take James Van Riemsdyk and go get another player. And that's hard to do, but because I wonder if a team would take it. Oh, okay, cool. That's great. Random woos are fully supported here in Perlo Wisdom Industries. Yeah, we're gonna be doing videos on that down the road here. Joe Boric and I. Although most of my things now are going to be lives. I like this. Lives are the best. I can talk directly to people. I can talk about hockey, and I don't have to like study every little thing, write it all down, do something, and people are like, "Who the fuck's this guy, anyways? Like, why do I need to listen to him?" Right? Exactly. I don't blame you. Like, I'm just some random dude. I'm not good at technology, so I don't know how to do all the fancy shit that the other guys do. So this is more fun to me. Does he have an NMC? Good question. You're always bringing up the good stuff, Lauren. Always, all of you do, but like Philly will expose him, but he will not get picked up. I don't think he has a no movement clause. No, he doesn't have an NMC. He took the money. He probably could have got an NMC if he took $1 million off his offer. That's what usually happens, but he took the money. No movement clause. Well, that's good. So they can expose him, which is good. But if they could get rid of that contract somehow, Gosh to Spear will likely be moved. But who's going to take him right now? You think Francis would take JVR? I don't think so. I don't think so. You'd have to give him a pick. Like, let's look at Philadelphia here. Let's see. Giroux, Voracek, Hayes. There's a lot of people saying that they would put Voracek out there, but Jamie Baska, one of the finest Philadelphia Flyers writers in the land, I'll tell you, check him out. He's freaking awesome. He says that there's no way they're not protecting Voracek. He's a huge leader in the room, and they're going to keep him and all that stuff like that. I do videos with him sometimes. You can flip through my videos there, and him and I do. Every once in a while, he graces me with the chance to do his videos. I just did a video not long ago with David Staples. I don't know if you know who David Staples is, but he's a writer here in Edmonton. I was floored when he asked me if I would do a video with him. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, David? Yeah. When, where, what time? I don't care. 3:00 in the morning on Monday? Yeah, sure. It was amazing. I've been reading him ever since I was a kid. I love David Staples. Hopefully I can do it again sometime, but he's very busy. But he's great. I couldn't believe it when I had that opportunity. But anyways, Jamie Basco is fantastic, and he says they're keeping Voracek. I don't know. I'm leaning to give him up at $8.5 million for. He's 31. He's going to be 37 at the end of that deal. If you can get rid of that contract now, I know Jamie and I went back and forth on this. He would know more than me though, because like he's in the room all the time. So he interviews these guys. He knows them all. He knows the environment, everything, right? So who am I to say? But anyways, Giroux, Voracek, you got to protect Hayes, which why wouldn't you anyways? It doesn't even matter if he doesn't have a no movement clause. Konechny, 1, 2, 3. Put James Riedenstijk out there 4, 5. Konechny, Couturier, and then between Lawton, Raffle, Derek Grant, and then for defensemen, you could take. For defensemen, you could take probably Robert Hagg. So why would I take James Van Riemsdyk at $7 million that can't seem to pot anything when I could get Robert Hagg, a good young defensive defenseman, 5'6" defenseman, 25 years old. So if you want me to take Van Riemsdyk, you better sweeten the pot. I want a draft pick out of it. And maybe they will do that. And I'd want a high draft pick. I wouldn't say I'm taking Hagg. If I got to take a Van Riemsdyk, who I don't even know is going to be able to play anywhere near up to his contract for the next however many years, I want a first round pick for sure. Otherwise, I'm not taking him. So I would say that he wouldn't take him. No. And I don't know if Philadelphia. I bet you Philadelphia would give up that first, but I don't know if Seattle would even want to still take Van Riemsdyk with that first. It depends on how they want to build their team. If they want to do what Vegas did and take veterans and win now, they're not going to do that. If they're looking at really rebuilding and creating a dynasty team, which Seattle could probably get away with because their fan base is probably going to be more secured, then they may do it. Probably Hayden Fleury, yeah. Carolina's going to have some difficulties all around there, though, aren't they? I mean, there's going to be a lot of trades that'll happen up until then, but trying to find Carolina here. Carolina Hurricanes. Okay. So Carolina, you got there's nobody with any. Oh, Jordan Stahl has a no movement clause. So Aho, Stahl, Teravainen, and Niederreiter protecting. Vincent Trocheck protecting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you got to protect Svechnikov by then, right? 7. Slavin, Hamilton, and Pesci. Oh yeah, what about Shea? What about Shea? That's kind of why New York Rangers let him go, because New York Rangers wouldn't have been able to protect him either. They did well to get a first for Shea. Yeah, who are they going to do? Unfortunately, maybe with Pesci's injury issues, maybe Pesci is the one that's left off. That hurts. Because Shea's younger. Shea played really well in the playoffs, by the way. I thought, he didn't have a strong year in New York. I think that was partially because he knew he was kind of on the way out, but he had a strong year for Carolina. I think if you had to protect those three, or Pesci would probably be the one to go. My honey's up. No, you can't see her. Don't ever show she's up. Yeah, but they're not taking Mrazek. There's going to be way better goaltenders than that. I that was the one thing I was disappointed with Brindamore. Why he kept on putting Mrazek in there. Mrazek he just never learns. He's got to be less aggressive, and in net he way too aggressive. And then all you got to do is put him side to side, and he's screwed. He's out too far. And then Reimer is probably the opposite, not aggressive enough. So, what are you doing? God, you don't need to worry about noise. It's a little about live. Who cares? Yeah, he's way too aggressive. But if you talk about those three, I would say Pesci might be the one that has to go because, Fogle could be another one that they would take. But I think they would do something to protect Pesci. We'll see how he does next year with his injuries. He's 38 years old. McElhinney was bound to start to slow down eventually. Something about Tampa, all the backup goaltenders go to shit there. Vasilevsky's so intimidating or something. I don't know. Oh, Boston has a power play. Oh, yeah. How did Boston get a power play? How did Boston get a power play here? Wasn't it a Boston player that hit? I can't remember. Wasn't it the Boston player that was on top of the guy just pounding the shit out of him, and he did Shouldn't that have been? There was no call, or did they call on make a call on the hitting from behind? It wasn't a hitting from behind. That's weird. How the hell did that happen? There was no call on the hit, and and it was one of the Boston players just started throwing him and beating the shit out of the Tampa player who didn't fight back. How is this possible? I don't get this. I'll have to find out about that. Yeah, they got that. It's a dangerous power play, though. It is. It's if you're not rooting for Boston, they scares the shit out of you because you sit there watching that guy they're going to pass to be wide open all the time, sort of like with Ovi, and you're like, hello, he's right there. He's the guy, the guy that's always there. He's there again, and you're not doing nothing. What are you doing? What are you doing? And they score. Yeah. You're right. They do that cross crease all the time. I think so. I don't know. I think so. Especially when they get a new coach. I think he was pretty unsatisfied with that with Reardon last year, but I don't see much slowdown in him. What's that? Do you want this? Do you want that? Okay. All right. Doesn't matter if they see me doing this. Did I play 2K? Do I? No, I'm not a gamer. I have a hard. It takes a lot of my time doing lives like this and doing videos and watching and studying for picks to send Patreon guys. I don't have time to play video games and stuff like that. I'd love to. I do think Gobi will. I think Ovi might even beat it. I don't know. I'm rooting for him to beat it. I love Ovi. That his post Stanley Cup celebration was freaking legendary. I loved it. Yeah, and I'm hearing Laviolette, and honestly, I don't like that. I don't think Laviolette is the answer there. But then again, I don't know who would be the answer. I say Gallant, but people say that I say Gallant. And then I don't know. They probably don't want to go with another young coach, but there's probably a lot of coaches out there that could do the job. I don't know. It goes to show you like what kind of special person it takes to be a coach in this league because when you fire one, it's not like you have one right there necessarily all the time. I don't think it should be Laviolette. Wow. Boston's playing better this period. Looking more like the Boston Bruins that we're accustomed to, which is not good for me because I got Tampa Bay to win. But Yeah, well, Lavi's got an aggressive system. It's not really the system so much; it's the person. I think Lavi needs to go take a break for a while. Did you see him behind the bench? He's got an eating disorder, or he's got an eating addiction. He's getting fatter and fatter, maybe even a drinking addiction. My outside view, he looks like he's popping back quite a few, and he's eating an awful lot. It looks like he's in anxiety all the time. I think Laviolette would do well to take 2, 3 years, at least a year off, go clear his mind, get himself grounded again, and come back. He's a brilliant hockey mind. He did like some of his coaching that he's done, like in Carolina and stuff, is fantastic, unbelievable. But in Nashville, it looked like he was starting to fall apart. Like he just needs to take a break, I think. Yeah, he needs to go do some Zen or something. He needs to chill out. It's funny. I talk about it. Like Barry Trotz is my favorite coach in the league, but a close second is Cooper. Actually, I love Cooper. But Cooper, have you noticed Cooper this playoffs? He has been like so serious looking compared to usual. But before this, he looked like your cool math teacher or English teacher, or whatever you used to have. Remember the guy who used to always wear the cool suits, and he was always so laid back, never got mad at anybody, and that's what Cooper reminded me of. I love him. But this year, he's gotten serious looking, man. He's kind of changed himself around a little bit. Yeah, Kobe. You got him. No, you got Tampa to win too. Of course you do, because you took my pick. Kobe, he's a Patreon member. He does so basically just to support what I do, because he's a killer capper. Doesn't need my help at all. I don't know if he fails to win the cup, but he has to get to the finals, I would say. Or maybe he might be okay if he even gets to the next round. But if he loses this round, yeah, I would say he's on his last legs. You know what? You and I are one of the few that see that. Most people think Sullivan is like one of the best coaches in the league. And I'm not so sure. I know he won a cup, but I don't know. There's something been amiss there. Here's something I noticed. Like he took over a team and they won a cup. It seems to me that Sullivan has torn down what was built. I could be wrong. I don't know. There's something amiss there. People will say, "Show me a great goaltender, and I'll show you a great coach." And I say, "Show me a great coach, and I'll show you a goaltender who's the best that he can be." And like Tortorella and Trotz, everywhere Trotz goes, all of a sudden the goaltender's good. You ever notice that? Goes to Washington, Holtby is freaking lights out. He's in Nashville. All their goaltenders were fantastic, apparently. And then they leave Nashville, or Rene leaves, and then Rene's not as good anymore. Varlamov was basically on the outs in Colorado, who look like they have great goaltending coaches. And he goes to the island, and all of a sudden he's greatest since sliced bread again, right? I'm not a fan of Jim Rutherford. I mean, he's good at getting players to win for that year, but over time, his teams wear out because the youth doesn't. Eventually, he'll be grasping at straws, which I kind of think that trade with Toronto was kind of grasping at straws a little bit. No, he's not the GOAT. He's not. He's not even the greatest of this generation. Tortorella is the GOAT. but he's right up there. It's like so close, so close. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand the play because they're in win now mode until they're not, until they're bad, and then it's going to be the sickest tear down you've ever seen. Once Malkin and Crosby, once the window closes for Pittsburgh, they're going to suck for a decade, probably. They're not going to have any assets to trade for picks. It's going to be really ugly. I'm a Philadelphia Flyers fan, so I have no love for Pittsburgh Penguins, really. But uh, wouldn't matter if I did or not. That's just logic. As long as they've got Crosby and Malkin, yeah. But Crosby and Malkin are slipping, and they don't have much around them. I mean, Gunsel. In 4 years, it's going to be Gunsel and a bunch of hacks. If they don't, they'll trade Gunsel too. They'll have nobody. Like the rebuild is going to be absolutely like devastating. Buffalo Sabres type, like more even Detroit Red Wings for a long time. Like it's going to be sick. I would hope so. I was saying they should have traded Malkin a long time ago, but not that I don't like Malkin, but just to get balance to that team so they don't have to go through an absolutely devastating rebuild. But it looks like they're going to have to go through a devastating rebuild there in Pittsburgh. Yeah, well, hopefully better run than the Oilers were for their rebuild. Oh my gosh, I had to sit there and watch it outside my window. It was disgusting. It was horrible. Poor player picks in the draft. When they were picked Yakubov, I was freaking like, are you kidding me? Not, I didn't think Yakubov wouldn't be a player. I wanted Murray, and Murray was hurt a lot, and maybe it wouldn't have been great, but at least he would have played. And they needed defense. Brian Burke had it right. Riley was the best player in that draft, he said. And he was right. People were laughing at him at the time, but he was right. No, I don't like McDonald's. I don't. I can't stand it, actually. Yeah. Yeah, somehow they managed to get both of them or something. Yeah, they'll do the same thing they already did to get Lemieux and Crosby, right? Just tank, 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 tank. Get a Lemieux or Crosby again. And then rebuild around that. I mean, the Oilers, honestly, I'm not sure the Oilers really tanked. They just had a horrible management. It's terrible. I didn't like Harvey too. Now, I don't really blame him for that pick because most scouts had Harvey as high as they did as that. But a genius scout in Kekalainen, who is considered the Wayne Gretzky of European scouting, passed on Harvey. That tells me something right there. And I watched Harvey, and I saw a kid that was big and had natural talent, but not much drive. That's what I saw, and that's what he is. And I didn't like the pick. I wanted Sergachev in that draft, and just imagine if Edmonton had Sergachev right now. That'd be freaking amazing. He sort of tanked, I suppose. I mean, he went out and got. I mean, yeah. I mean, there wasn't really much you could do. He said in the beginning of the season that it's probably not going to be pretty. So that's sort of a tank because you're already telling your players already that they're building through the draft and all of that stuff like that. So I don't know. What do you want to call tank? I mean, is your heart 100% in winning when you look at your team and go, yeah, we're not winning. You're just being realistic. Like, and then they lose the top pick this year. It may not matter in this draft. If you're going to lose the top pick or this is the draft to do it because the fourth pick could be the best pick in the draft. And I hear they're taking Perfetti. They're all over Perfetti. They love Perfetti. They want Perfetti. So, and Perfetti is one of those guys that he's a high risk, high reward. And if they think that reward's going to cash in, if they don't think he's as high of a risk, he could be the best person in the draft. Seriously, that guy's got fucking hands like crazy. His hands are sick. Probably the best hands in the draft, except for maybe Stutzla. I'd still say him. Yeah, his hands are insane. His two-way game needs a lot of work, and all that kind of stuff like that. And he needs to grow into his body. But I'm I'm a big fan of Rossi. The more I read about Rossi, the more I think he should go higher than he probably is going to go. Uh, I hear he's going to go down in the 8th spot. If Buffalo gets Rossi, like Buffalo's talking about trading that pick, if Rossi's there at the 8th spot, there's no way I trade that pick. I take Rossi. Rossi's probably one of the most NHL ready besides Lafreniere to play next year. Like, what did he get? He get 2 points a game in junior already at his age. Like, he could be people. I compared him to Point watching him, but the more I read about him, the more I pay attention to it, I think he's got more points than Point. He'll get more points than Point and play just as good defensively. So, like, that is fucking sick, man. If I'm Detroit personally, I'm taking Rossi over Perfetti maybe, but they love him. I guess he's from the area and stuff like that. He projects more as a winger, and they've got pretty good depth up the middle with Rasmussen and should be playing next year. Larkin, of course, but you never can have too much depth down the middle, I guess. I don't know if you watch Gravite, but I just watched his latest. I like Gravite. I started doing vids the same time as Gravite, and we were increasing at the same level, and then I had to go to rehab, and then I came back and my channel was shit. But I think he had Raymond going to Detroit. Yeah. He's got a 200-foot game. Like, he reminds me of Point, but I think he could have more offense than Point in him. And that is pretty sick if you can get a guy like that. So you got like Lafreniere. Would you consider taking Rossi over what's his name? What's that second? I always forget his name. Would you consider taking Rossi in the 2nd spot over Stutzla or Vasilevsky's looking freaking good. Byfield, yes. Still take Byfield, eh? I'm not sure. I probably it's Byfield's size is insane. I don't know if his skill, he gets away with a lot of stuff in junior because of his size, and that's what people are concerned about. Um, is he going to be able to get away with that in the NHL? Probably not. Where Rossi, his skill level is going to translate for sure into the NHL. But it's kind of hard to avoid not take a 6'4" center that could be like Kopitar. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I was saying gravitate. Grav was saying that he had Stutzla going over Byfield, and that's the big thing right now. They think that LA is going to take Byfield, Stutzla, and then Ottawa would take Byfield. Um, the more I think about it, the more I think that Ottawa, Tampa scores. Palat is just killing it this season. Palat again. What's that? His 5th goal? Has he scored like three of their last goals? 3 goals in a row for them. What a shot! Right over that glove hand. That's what we were saying before. No, yeah, over that glove hand. That's his hole. Halak's hole. That's why I keep on putting Tampa Bay to win all the time. That can happen. Halak's got to have that. So, anyways, we'll do a mock draft here while we're hanging out. Why not? So we'll do. Maybe I'll do a mock draft, and I'll do another mock draft video on Monday, or maybe tomorrow, and I'll put you in it there, Lauren Darkin. So Lafreniere first, of course. What do you say? LA takes Stutzler or Byfield? Hendricks Lapierre, yeah. Where is he gonna go? Yeah, that's all right. I got the idea. Sweet. B Bork put up some baseball picks today. How are they doing? We didn't have a time to talk about them together, but he's a killer capper. I trust him anyways. Hendricks Lapierre is going to be, yeah, that's the big question mark. I can't put him in my mock draft because I don't have doctors telling me how Hendricks is going to be. But if there is, what happened? What happened here? Yeah, he's had multiple concussions, right? That's the thing. He looks like when he was playing, he looked like Bergeron, man. Like he looked freaking. Somebody's going to take a chance on him for sure. If he's okay, if his head's okay, that could be the steal of the draft. I have a feeling it's in my heart. I think Minnesota's going to. Oh, Richie's gone. Richie's going to be gone for at least a game with that. I have a feeling that Minnesota's going to take him. He just feels like a Minnesota player. And Guerin's the kind of guy that would take that chance. Oh, yeah, he is freaking. That was a sick hit. That's a sick hit. Richie is gone for at least a game. This is why Richie didn't make it in Anaheim. He's dumb as a fucking post. Sorry, but it's true. He's dumb as a post. He just does stupid shit all the time. His hockey IQ is 0. And he's a big guy that can skate, but he just always does stupid shit constantly. Yeah, he's gone. Gone for the game, gone for the next game. Like, that is just brutal. 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 Bye-bye, Mr. Ritchie. Yeah. Anyway, so let's do it, Lamarck. Lapierre. So we'll go Lafreniere. Who do you got number 2? What's Cassidy sitting there going, what a fucking joke you guys are to the refs? You take Byfield second? I don't know if I'm LA, I might go with Stützle. They've got a lot of centers there. I see your point, though. I mean, it's hard to give up on It's very tough. But so 3 Stützle. Ottawa takes Stützle. Okay, what do we got? 4 then. What would you take? Not Detroit says Perfetti. I'm sure Detroit's taking Perfetti. But what would you take? I think I would take Rossi or Drysdale. Yeah, there's no reason to complain. You're just asking for the refs to be not on your side with that. Wow, you are amazing. Dude, we got to do a video together. I agree with you on that. I don't know if I would, but I see your point. Like, why not get your goaltender now? Askarov, yeah. But I don't think they're going to. Like, Askarov is looking like he's going to be like Vasilevsky or Carter Hart or somebody like that. Like, if you can get, they say, well, goaltenders are easy, they're fine. Well, yeah, how many freaking Carter Harts do you see out there? I don't see any. Shesterkin, Carter Hart, Price, only a handful of teams have goaltenders that can actually win a series for you, win a cup for you. Like, even if you have an average team, you can win a cup because you have that goaltender. And apparently Askarov is going to be like that. Demko, I don't know if Demko is going to be, I don't know. I think he's going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be like Merzlikins maybe. Let's find out. One of those goaltenders, Korpisalo or Merzlikins, is going to go after this season, right? Let's find out if Tortorella's system isn't the reason why these goaltenders are as big as they are. Spencer Knight will be good. What the hell are you doing drafting Spencer Knight and then giving Bobrovsky $10 million a year? What are you doing? What was the point of that? Spencer Knight's never going to be a number 1 because you're paying a guy $10 million a year. That was a dumb move. Just get Spencer Knight and then sign a goaltender. Yeah, but Spencer Knight is going to want out. He's going to want to get paid before Bobrovsky's gone. But it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense. I did agree with the Spencer Knight pick. That was a fucking awesome pick, right? But if you got him there, you might as well just get a goaltender to fill in until then, right? Not $10 million a year till the end of time. I think it was a 7-year contract because they didn't have Bobrovsky's rights, right? That's why they had to give him $10 million a year because they didn't have his rights, so they couldn't give him 8. They probably only wanted to give him 9, but they gave him the extra million on the 7 to make up for Columbus's 9 million for 8 years. If Columbus was even offering that, I'm not sure. Who knows with that super genius general manager they got there? Kekalainen is freaking brilliant. Just absolute brilliant general manager in this league. I hope not. With all that talent up there, you're going to take Sanderson. No, I think he's gonna. Well, I think he's gonna take Perfetti for sure. But in 4, okay, let's say we took Askarov. We're saying what we would do. I get that pick. I totally get that pick. The scary part is people say that goaltenders are voodoo, but there are rare times when you get guys like Fleury and stuff like that. So let's say we go Askarov. Who are we picking with 5 then? I get that pick. If I'm Detroit, I'm probably taking a gamble on that too, because getting a goaltender like that can save a franchise, can make you competitive everywhere. 5 to Drysdale, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there. So Ottawa would take Stützle and Drysdale? If I'm Ottawa, maybe I go Rossi there with Stützle, because Stützle is probably going to be a winger in the NHL. And then they've got a lot of solid defensemen there already. Yeah. Tampa's just all over them this game. They got a lot of defense coming up. Now you're gonna make me look again. Where's my cap friendly? Friggin' there we go. They got a lot of defense coming up. Yeah, Rossi. Up next is the Ducks. Then definitely Drysdale. Absolutely, no doubt about Drysdale then. You think Boston's going to come back and win this, Jen? Yeah. So what do we got next? Drysdale for sure. If you're Anaheim, no doubt about it. Drysdale, absolutely. And they may get like one of the Drysdale looks like Makar, and we're at number 6, and we've got a Makar like player. Oh, Tampa scores again. Three nothing. Yeah, it didn't happen though. You jinxed it, Jenny Tools. Jenny, you're a big Boston fan, are you? You'd be happy with. We have another Boston fan here. He's really quiet today. Maybe not even in the land now. TD, we call him. So number 7 is New Jersey, right? That's where I think Sanderson will like, but I wouldn't if I were them. Who are we missing here, though? Yeah, they do. But who's still available now? Because we took Asker off fourth. Raymond. Yeah, Raymond would be a tough one to not take here. You think Bud? I don't. You can. Okay, you want to bet on that comeback, Jen? You go right ahead, buddy. Right ahead, my friend. No, I don't like Lundell. They may do that, but I mean, why would you? I wouldn't pick Lundell there. Lundell is going to be like Montreal's second line center. I always forget his name. Help me out. Good, solid, like two-way guy, put up 40, 50 points, something like that. I'm not taking that here. That's how I project Lundell to be. How do you project? This may be one time we disagree. I could definitely see the Canucks and Knights over 6. I didn't bet it, but I could definitely see it. I mean, that series should be over most of the time. I'm not with you on the Islanders ML. I got Philly ML. I had Tampa ML, Philly ML. Oh, their defensive depth is horrid. I mean, you don't even have to look. It's terrible. Except for that one kid. He's going to be friggin' awesome. He's coming up right away. You go look it up. I'll let you do the work so I can keep on talking to Jenny. I got Flyers ML. And yeah. I had Flyers PL on a parlay. Tampa was getting even money, which I could have ML'd them in the parlay. Something, Colby, if you ever look at my thing, don't be afraid to. I like to take the percentage. I had Tampa PL, which only paid 1.3. Flyers were a dog in this on my line. The Flyers were a dog. Did you bet the Flyers? Look at them; they were a dog. And Tampa ML. I took Tampa ML and Philadelphia PL in a parlay, and ML straight up. I think I had. Did I put Vancouver in there? Did I put Vancouver PL too? Because there's nice juice on that. I think they'll keep it close. Yeah, that's why I put Tampa as a Tampa PL on parlay. I think my parlay gave you 2.5 juice, just over 2.5 juice. But high percentage play. That's what I like. High percentage plays for 2.5. I would rather play most of the time. I'd rather play parlay that gives you 2.5 on 90% possibility. So you got a 70% chance that parlay is going to hit. Then play dog that might be 50-50 at best. I'll take the 20% on the parlay and the double and the percentage. Occasionally, I won't though. Sometimes you get crazy, like the Islanders this year. I PL'd them a lot when they were dogs against Washington. That was like easy money, easy money. They may. I'm just saying I wouldn't. I don't. I don't. I'm not high on Lundell. I'm not high on Lundell. He kind of reminds me with a guy that they've already been struggling with there in not Kavasha. What's his name? New Jersey. Pavel Zacha. Kind of reminds me of Pavel Zacha. He could be that. Oh, I love Brad. Brad's good. So who? I don't know if they want wing. I think they're going to take Sanderson there. I think that's who they'll take. With what we've just projected to what we just said. Who is that minus 240? Tampa ML, yeah. I didn't get him at $1, even money. I think that's likely what they'll take. The question is that who I would take? I gotta look at who we've already taken off the board here. Oh, you know what? No, what am I talking about? We haven't taken off Holtz off the board yet. I think they'll go Holtz. They do need a winger a shooter that can play with Hughes and Heischer. I think they'll take Holtz there. They'll save the defenseman for the next pick because they've got the 7th and the 18th. Devils get Holtz. Okay. Now we got Buffalo with the 8th pick. And they'll probably be stupid enough to take Lundell, but I think they trade the pick with who we got available here. Or maybe Raymond. I think they would take Raymond here. Would you agree? They take Raymond here if they're going to pick. I think if he's available though, that they might trade it because Raymond's probably a year or two away, and they want. It depends on who they're going to get for that 8th pick. I heard. Well, I didn't hear this. I made it up. Goudreau is apparently leaving Calgary. That I heard. They don't really need defense, but they do need defense, like prospects wise. Yeah. I don't think they're going to take Schneider or Goulet there. Maybe somebody's going to take Goulet off the board early. I know they are. I don't think Buffalo will be though. I think they're going to be all in looking for players to play with Eichel. And I have a feeling with what we have left on the board here, if Raymond is the one there, they would consider trading this pick. So let's trade this pick, will we? I don't know. Now that Talon's gone, maybe they don't. Gravite was talking about that too. How if things could change now that Talon's there, they could be looking at things differently. But okay, this is what I heard. Calgary trades Goudreau to Buffalo for this pick and maybe something else. So they can sign Taylor Hall because Taylor Hall wants to go to Calgary. So if that happened, and Calgary took this pick, I'm pretty sure they would take Raymond. Are you? It sounds like you're not a big Raymond guy. Actually, another thing I heard is that New Jersey's huge on Quinn. Raymond to the Flames, yeah. Raymond's like been compared to Marner. I haven't seen enough of him, but I mean, if he's even close to Marner, he probably shouldn't even be going this low, really. They certainly need a center more than anything, but they may take Lundell. I don't think that would be a wise move. If that mock trade happens, yeah. And then I don't know, they'd have to have a center in mind though, because really what they need is a center. Right out of the gate, they were talking about Monahan and Goudreau getting traded, but I doubt that would happen. So number 9, this is where I think Anton Lundell would likely go. However, I wouldn't go with Lundell here. I would go with Seth Jarvis here if I was Minnesota. But I think they're going to be going for a center. This is where I think Lundell would likely go. Minnesota takes these types of players all the time. Eck, Cunnin, all of those players, like they all have that type of two-way 50-point guys. They love them, love them, love them. So I think Lundell would likely go here. I personally would not take Lundell here. I would probably go with either Dawson Mercer or Jack Quinn. But they're desperate for centers, so I think they take Lundell. Let's say Lundell there. What do you say? They're desperate for centers, but I don't know if Lundell's going to be playing for a while anyways, but that's the thing about taking this. Okay, we'll go with Lundell there. Now we got Winnipeg Jets. They need defense like crazy here. I'm almost positive he's from Brand. I'm almost positive they take Braden Schneider here. Almost positive. The guy's from Manitoba. They love their Manitoba kids. They need defensemen like crazy. I don't think it's necessarily the best player available, but the thing with Winnipeg is they have a hard time getting free agents in and re-signing players because it's fucking Winnipeg. That's why. If I'm making millions of dollars and I had to say where would I like to live, Winnipeg would not be on the top of my list, right? So getting hometown guys who live there and love the city and all that kind of stuff like that is pretty valuable to them. So I say they take Braden Schneider here for sure. Which leads us to Nashville. Which leads us to Nashville. Where are we going here? I mean, there's lots of places. Once you get down here, it's hard to tell which. Like, I think Jacob Perreault could go off the board here because he's got sick hands too. Yeah, they'll want offense. I don't think. Yeah, they could, I suppose. Yeah, because they're really looking to for now, right? But I don't know what kind of player they're going to get at the 11th spot. Like four. They're they're going to want to score. They could trade the pick. They also need defense now, actually, which is crazy saying that about Nashville. Never thought you'd ever say that about Nashville, but yeah, that's exactly who I think they'd take. Jack Quinn. We're talking speaking there. We're speaking there. I think Jack Quinn. Yeah. Possible 40-goal scorer there in Jack Quinn. I've heard best shot in the best shot. Okay, so the players we've got picked. We're losing people though, but that's all right. The players we picked: Alexis Lafreniere. We took Byfield second, Stützle third, Askarov fourth, Rossi fifth, Drysdale sixth, Holt seventh. Oh, wait a second here. Nobody's taken Cole Perfetti yet. Who did we have Buffalo taking? Buffalo would take Cole Perfetti for sure if he was there. Who did we have them taking? Oh, that's right, Raymond. That's right. We traded it to Calgary, right? So, and then Calgary took Raymond. So actually, I think Calgary would take Cole Perfetti there. Then Minnesota would take Raymond. Oh, this is yeah. I think Calgary would take Cole Perfetti. They want to get. I don't believe they believe Monahan's their guy for a number one guy, and they shouldn't. I've been saying that for 2-3 years now that he's not a true number one. So I think they take Cole Perfetti there, and then Minnesota would take Raymond, and then maybe Winnipeg takes Lundell now. Yeah, Perfetti would go to the Flames then. Yeah. I wonder if Perfetti's available, if Buffalo even makes that trade, if they just take him. But either way, I think Perfetti probably projects as a winger. Like most people are saying he's going to be a winger in the NHL, though. But they could still try him at center. Anyways, Lundell then would go, or Lundell would go to Winnipeg then. That would still leave. That would still leave Nashville taking Jack Quinn. No, Braden Schneider still goes to Winnipeg. So Braden Schneider would still go to Winnipeg. So Raymond would go to. No, Raymond goes to Minnesota. Schneider goes to Winnipeg. Now do the Predators take Lundell? I don't think so. I think they take Quinn. This is the reason why I said Lundell is going to drop down in the draft. Because I don't think Nashville's going to go for the defensive center. No, we already have Holtz going in New Jersey. Perfetti goes to Buffalo or Calgary, whatever you want to say. Then Minnesota takes Raymond. And we haven't even got into, wait a second. Do the Predators take Quinn or do they take Seth Jarvis? I mean, Seth Jarvis's numbers are absolutely insane. I know he's small, but 98 points in 58 games, 42 goals. I don't know. I think I'd take Jarvis there, but we'll take Quinn because we already said that. If that's the case, I know that Florida needs defense, but there's no way I let Jarvis go past. I take Jarvis. Worry about positions later. I mean, Jarvis is that could be the steal of the draft. Panthers get Jarvis, yeah. That could be the steal of the draft, seriously. If Seth Jarvis turns out to be what's projected, you'd have Jarvis, Huberdeau, and Barkov as your top three. Woo! That's crazy. That is one crazy line. That'll be one of the best lines in the league. So then we got Carolina. Almost for sure, Carolina will take Dawson Mercer. Oh, you think so? Rodion Amarov? I thought Dawson Mercer would be the guy, but he just feels like a Brindamore type player. Boston. Feels like they're going to get one here. Oh, now Tampa's got a penalty. What? They're going to let him back in, man. Can't fuck around with Boston. You know Boston. They'll come. They're the comeback kings. I do not consider this game over yet. Boston can come back anytime. Okay, well, let's go. I think the Oilers have had their fill of Russians. Maybe they've got some pretty good defensemen coming up. They need defense, but they're almost get to the point now where they've got some really good defensemen coming up. Bouchard and that kid they took, Broberg. I think they've had their fill of Russians. So if we're giving Carolina the Russian kid, Amarov, I could see that actually. I could see that. Amarov's a high risk, high reward player. Like he's got to learn defense, but he's big. He could end up being one of those guys that are like, how the hell did he go so low? So yeah, I could definitely see that. Carolina is that type of team that will take a player like that. I think almost assuredly then are they going to go with the Western kid in Connor Zary or Dawson Mercer? They could go for Jan Mysak here, Dylan Holloway. Hey, why don't we take the chance here? We're Oilers fans, right? No. What are you? We're Oilers fans, right, Lauren? This is where Hendrix Lapierre goes. If they can get a center, will they take the chance on Hendrix Lapierre? You don't see that? No? What don't you see? Hendrix Lapierre? Yeah, I don't know. If I'm the Oilers, I'd probably reach and grab him here. There's such a deep draft, actually. I maybe try to draft down a bit, take a second or something, grab another second. Nah, I think they got their defense. I think they're going to be looking for forwards to play with in the future with McDavid, and I really do. Dawson Mercer feels like the guy to me. Dawson Mercer projects as like a Wheeler type player. That would be right on. If they were going to go defense, we'd go Goulet, right? For sure, Goulet. And then Toronto. Yeah, they have Bouchard, they have and then Bear looks like he's going to be playing up there for a while. Uh, yeah, Bear. They're actually talking about trading. Uh, they're talking about trading Clefbaum for a winger or possibly Nurse for a winger. So that's how strong they feel about their defense. If he plays, yeah, they said they're going to sign, which is okay. Like if you're really a point a game player in Finland is probably they say that translates to about a 40-point player here in the NHL. So at his age, that's not that great. I would have felt better about Puljujärvi if he would have went to Finland. He would have been like a point and a half game player. Now he could come back and play with Tippett, and Tippett could turn him into who knows what. Tippett's a great coach, so it's hard to say. Okay, so where are we? Montreal, or we're at Toronto now. Who knows what Toronto will do? Toronto thinks way outside of the box. I think they're going to trade Kerfoot to make some room for their defense, and then maybe try to find another third line center like Kerfoot. Feels like I mean they need defense, but if Edmonton did take Goulet, if Edmonton doesn't take Goulet there and they take Dawson Mercer, probably Toronto takes Goulet. It's not too bad. I mean, yeah, it's not too bad. And who knows if they play him up with Draisaitl and McDavid, maybe there's a connection there. I mean, he's got a killer shot. It's just his hockey IQ is not great. When he was in junior, when I was watching him, he played pond hockey. He was just so big; he could get into any area he wanted to. He's needed in defense, but they're not going to be. There's no defenseman. Maybe they're crazy and go off the board and take Ronnie Herbonen because that is like so Toronto, a small offensive defenseman. But they could trade the pick for a defenseman if there's any out there. However, I think they're going to go for TJ Brody as an unrestricted free agent. When they were trading Kadri to Kadri, which was, I don't even want to go in. I've gone into that plenty in my videos why I didn't like that trade to do that. But I also didn't like Tavares being signing. But anyways, doesn't matter. When they were going to trade him to Calgary, CC should not be coming back anywhere. He's a depth defenseman that was playing top 4 defense. It was horrible. Barry's not coming back. No, Barry's not going back. I think TJ Brody could get. They've got about, with the Kapanen trade, they've got about maybe $7 to $8 million to play with. So either they're going to trade somebody else and go after Peter Angelo, and that's it. And now you're looking at a really good killer top 4. Muzzin, Riley, Peter Angelo, and who am I missing there? Muzzin, Riley, Peter Angelo. Who am I missing in their top 4? Yes, it was dumb. Especially for what they got back. I mean, Kerfoot's a fine center, but it depends on the team. Oh, okay. Well, a few here that I'll talk about then. Dylan Holloway. And Connor Zary are both very interesting. By the time it got down to New Jersey, Tyson Furster, right winger, was flying up the rankings. He's a guy that I could see a team reach for here. There's a lot of good talent here. Another guy I could see Toronto taking if they were going to stick with getting defensemen is William Vollander, who's 30th, but he's 6'4", 195 pounds. He's one of those guys that might get picked late and people go, what the fuck? No, I don't think so. Oh, he could be, actually. He's only 5'7", 154 pounds, this Passion kid. He's got 39 points in the K, though. He's probably going to be a second rounder. He's just really small. 5'7", that's like really small. But he had over a point a game in the KHL as an 18-year-old. He's probably going to play. It's just a question if he can handle it. Well, 3-0 with 13 minutes left. I think I'm going to take my wife out for lunch. Kind of make her feel good for allowing me to do these lives and stuff like that. and come back here and maybe go live for the Philly game. Oh, Boston scores just as I say that. Yeah, it was fun. Watch I say that and Boston do one of their patented turnarounds and come back and win this freaking game or something. But I doubt it. I doubt it very much. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. I want to spend some time with the little lady today. So I'll talk to you guys later. It's been awesome, Lauren, and everybody else has been listening into this. I hope you like the hockey nerd talk. I think that's what I'm going to call my channel from now on. I'm going to turn it to like hockey nerds. Peace.